Once upon a time, there was a family who lived happily. They have a beautiful daughter called Bawang Putih. But one day, Bawang Putih's mother fell ill and died. After that incident, Bawang Putih lived with her father. Bawang Putih's father was a trader who often traveled far. Because he couldn't bear to leave Bawang Putih alone at home, Bawang Putih's father finally decided to remarry a widow. The widow had one child who was named Bawang Merah. From now on, you will have a mother and half-sister for you. Her name is Bawang Merah, said the father. Bawang Putih was happy because she had a new family. Bawang Putih's stepmother and stepsister were very sweet to her. However, it turned out that the kindness was only for a moment. Bawang Putih's mother and stepsister had evil natures. They were kind to Bawang Putih only when her father was with her. However, when her father went to trade, they told Bawang Putih to do all the housework like a servant. It turned out that Bawang Putih's misfortunes did not stop there. After some time, Bawang Putih's father also fell ill and died. Now, the stepmother and Bawang Merah are acting even more evil towards Bawang Putih. Now you do all the homework every day, said her stepmother after her father was buried. Even Bawang Putih's rest time is increasingly limited. Every day she has to serve all the needs of Bawang Merah and her stepmother. Until one morning when Bawang Putih was washing in the river, without realizing it, one of Bawang Merah's favorite shawl was washed away. Sister, I'm sorry, your shawl got swept away in the river, said Bawang Putih. Bawang Merah scolded Bawang Putih. She told Bawang Putih to look for the shawl and not to go home until she found it. Don't ever come back to this house if you don't find my shawl, shouted Bawang Merah. Finally, Bawang Putih went along the river to look for the shawl. Until late at night, she still had not found the shawl. She was walking along the river. Bawang Putih saw a hut. It turned out that the hut was inhabited by a lonely grandmother. Bawang Putih asked permission to stay overnight. Grandma, can I stay at your house? Asked Bawang Putih. The grandmother was very kind. She invited Bawang Putih to stay overnight. The grandmother also asked about Bawang Putih and how she got to that place. Bawang Putih also told her fate until the grandmother who heard it felt sorry. Apparently, the shawl that Bawang Putih was looking for was found by the grandmother. While passing through the river, I found the shawl caught in the rocks, said the grandmother. Grandma, thank you very much, said Bawang Putih happily. But the grandmother wanted to hand over the shawl on the condition that Bawang Putih had to accompany her for a week. I want to give you this shawl, but there are conditions. You have to stay here for a week, said the grandmother. Bawang Putih accepted the offer happily. I will be happy to accompany you, Grandma. A week passed, and now it was time for Bawang Putih to go home. Because during her stay there, Bawang Putih was very diligent, the grandmother gave her the shawl she had found and gave Bawang Putih a gift. She was told to choose between two pumpkins to take with her. Initially, Bawang Putih wanted to refuse, but because she wanted to respect the gift, Bawang Putih finally chose a small pumpkin because she was afraid she wouldn't be able to carry it. And the grandmother just smiled when she heard that reason. After that, Bawang Putih immediately went home and handed the shawl to Bawang Merah. After that, she immediately went to the kitchen to cut the pumpkin and cook it. However, to her surprise, when she cut the pumpkin, it turned out that the pumpkin contained a lot of gold and gems. By accident, Bawang Putih's stepmother saw her and immediately stole all the gold. Not only that, she also forced Bawang Putih to tell her where she got the magic pumpkin. Hearing Bawang Putih's story, evil intentions emerged in the greedy stepmother's mind. The next morning, she told Bawang Merah to do the same thing as Bawang Putih did. She hoped she would be able to bring home a bigger pumpkin so that it will have more contents. Long story short, the lazy Bawang Merah arrived at Grandma's hut, and she stayed there for a week. However, because of her lazy nature, she just lazed around and didn't want to help Grandmother's job. And when it was time to go home, she was told to choose a pumpkin as a gift. Without thinking, she immediately took a large pumpkin and immediately ran home without saying thank you. After arriving home, her mother was very happy to see her child carrying a very large pumpkin. She thought there must be quite a lot of gold in it. Because they didn't want Bawang Putih to know and were afraid that Bawang Putih would ask for a share, they told Bawang Putih to wash in the river. After that, they entered the room and locked it tightly. Impatiently, they immediately cut open the pumpkin, but unexpectedly, it was not gold that was inside. Instead, the pumpkin was filled with snakes, scorpions, centipedes, and various venomous animals. Quickly, the animals came out of the pumpkin and bit the two children and the greedy mother. The end.